Good job.
Editor!
Auto shutdown initiated. Auto
Yeah.
shutdown canceled.
Yeah, I do want to add something, Mech. You do talk about Star Hanger and the Impound, but there is also the Star Citizen Trades Discord, or not Discord, subreddit, and I'm pretty familiar. I've used that for a couple things here and there for getting like certain special CCUs, like best in show stuff. I've used that in the past. So that's another thing that does exist for them. That's not always like a direct storefront transaction. It's more of like a bartering or.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's also probably important to call out that if you purchase your ship from anywhere other than CIG, it does not count towards concierge levels.
Nope.
No. Yes.
That looks like the pledge store.
To specify, it's purchasable but not always flyable, just FYI.
You can hit the sort by lowest price, and that'll slap it to the top like that. Yeah, if you click it, it'll reverse. No, you got to select something on the right for select the shiv on the right first. Yeah, or more, and then reverse it. No, click the sort by lowest price. A little bit over. There you go.
He skipped a step. He's got to put his thing down first.
No, click that to reverse it. There, you can see the 125s there. So these are all the ships that you can jump to at the lowest of new money. Trap.
Now, to add to this, because you called out the raft, it's important to note that they have announced the price of the raft is going to go up soon.
Yep.
So any CCUs involving the raft need to be used before that price is updated, because it will significantly decrease the value of the jump, and it'll also, you can't jump backwards. So anything that, like, say, raft to shiv, and the raft goes up to, $200 because all of a sudden it's cool, your CCU is no longer usable. You have to melt it because you can't go down in value.
So Verdi, you can actually go down in value.
It'll let you.
Yeah, negative CCUs can still be used. Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
it
If
won't
you
let you buy
melt
it
it,
later, but
you
yeah.
can't rebuy it, and if you melt it, it's gone forever. But if you can keep negative CCUs and zero CCUs like in your hanger and use them as long as you don't met them.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good.
Other than maybe to specify you cannot melt something you buy in game, just for the recording. Because I can just see somebody coming back later and going, "Well, I bought it and now I can't do anything to it." And I was like, "Yeah, well, you bought it in the game."
Let me get that open. Okay. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the CCU app game. I'm gonna try not to flash all my junk on here, but it pretty much allows you to keep track of all your stuff. It really gives you like an interface to work with, compared to the usual web hanger, and they actually give you more information than it could ever. But so let's look at like a usual really worked on CCU. So this is my Perseus that I pretty much have been working on for the last 3 years. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in here. Like there's a lot of uh different techniques that I've used over the years. Ranging from like, see, there's, if you can see, I have some that are Warbond, which the Pulse is a base pledge that has Warbond, and then uh, if we go further down, I have a couple other ones. Here's a Prospector that is a Warbond, but then there's other ones that are from the price adjustments. So as time goes on, ships change price. So like, for example, like when they release the X1 shifted in price. So if you had bought the MPUVC to X1 before the price adjustment when it came out, then you would gain in that. So it allows you to stick that in there, and you can just use store credit. That's not even Warbond. So that allows you to use store credit there. But then the Avenger, that had a price change over time, even after it came out. So that adjusted it about $5. So I pretty much just stack these together, and you might see like missing. Those are pretty much spots where I couldn't pretty much find a CCU. There's some areas that are just dry for any kind of price gain, and you kind of just have to throw store credit into there and accept that you're not going to get any percent off. But as you go in here, there's a couple weird things. Like there's also the Warbond upgrade to the Cutlass Black. It uses the Reliant Mako, which is a very uncommon ship. But that was so then I didn't have to spend $10 on new money for that upgrade. I just had to use 5, and then I could use $5 store credit here. So, any questions so far? All right. So there's a couple other things. Whenever the Hornet was sunsetted, that had a price adjustment. So that was another thing. But as you check on here, there's just like, you just pretty much fill in the gaps of things you need, but pretty much the smart thing is that you have to start at the end. That's the most important
Hey,
part.
what's up? Good.
So when
Um,
you first start, there's gonna be
Depends.
you know what
What's the
ship you
budget?
need.
The Arctis Pro is probably the one I'd go for. The Nova Pro is definitely the higher end version, and the price tag reflects such.
So first here I started with the
sorry.
Karak to Perseus. Uh, the best way to lock in any kind of CCU, like if you want a specific ship, uh, you always want to go for getting the final CCU, just to lock it in, especially if it's a ship that's in concept, because that will have itself price adjustment, and then from there you pretty much fill in the rest. And yeah, this little handy app does a lot of the work for you. So if you like go to create a chain, there's a lot you can do with this. Are you guys all familiar with this app?
I've seen it. I've never actually used it. Mostly because most of my stuff is in packages and I can't melt properly.
Mm. Well, the good thing about this is that you can build chains off of like packages too. Like it works like natively. It will tell you like and you can build it all and direct, and it really does help in the long term. So like if I wanted to build like a chain on my Nova, I wanted to build, let's say, we'll go to Reclaimer. So this thing will actually look at the store and pull, like it will say, oh, here, this, like we can fit in the current store Warbond CCU here. And then it depending on what settings you do, like obviously if you have time, long-term highest savings is always the best, because it kind of just leaves spaces so that as you build more and more, you just kind of know what you need to fit in there. So as you can see here, I do already own a couple CCUs. The numbers here is the number I have in my hangar plus the one on buyback. So it does also keep track of your buybacks, which is extremely handy. Because like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure I have over like 800 pages of buybacks. So it's pretty helpful for going through all these too. Because I melt things so that I can just store it in my buyback, and then I just proceed to pretty much keep it there just in case. I think that's pretty straightforward. We can look at some other chains. Where's the other ones? So they're all stored in here. So this is my ironclad one. So I've gotten it down to 195 of melt value, and it's based 450 right now, which is the current value before it has the price adjustment when it comes out. And as you can see here, this one has kind of gathered a bunch of them. I think, was it last year we had the Spartan? Yeah, I think it was sometime that we had the Spartan CCU and the Hawk, which was a really good. We don't. The rarity on any kind of CCUs like sub 100 is incredibly high. They really do not like to do CCUs below that. So anything below that is good. That's why the Hall A price adjustment is a good thing to buy right now with some store credit if you have some, because it allows you to jump with that price change. But as you can see here, I have a buyback, so this thing does keep track of it. So I know that I have to buy that back before I upgrade it. But just goes through a bunch of chains over time. You just kind of get used to what you need to link, because especially as you get more pieces, you know what needs to fit. You definitely will buy some CCUs that you're like, oh man, what was I thinking? Which luckily they allow you to melt that. So, and then you can use that just for the in between spaces. Like here, where the reclaimer, it doesn't usually have a war bond upgrade.
Important part about that: melt the CCU before you apply it, not after.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, melting is one of those things you have to be really careful because, like, they ask you to put your password in and everything, and they want to make sure you know what you're doing because there's a bunch of confirmations. But once it's gone, you got to talk to support. Yeah, it's like a coin flip if they're really feeling it. All right. So how you guys feeling about seeing these? Any questions so far? No, pretty straightforward. Yeah, I showed off one of the Perseus chain, and I didn't know how much you heard, so. I don't like how similar our hangars look. I don't have a Pioneer or the Endeavor, but everything else. Yeah, those are. Yeah, that's something I'm really excited for. Oh man, the Kraken.
I want that red paint for my Kraken, but I don't think it'll actually be in game. I don't need it to be that obnoxious.